not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, y'all? It is Tasha. I am back with another video. Thank you so much for stopping into my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button below, thumbs up the video, and of course comment in the comment section below. If you are not new, welcome back, and let's go ahead and jump into this week's episode of Put a Ring on It. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes these Put a Ring on It episodes, like, I feel like it's a whole lot of talking going on, but really they talking about nothing. Is it just me? Because I feel like I be typing notes and then I'm like, what did they just say? Is there any way I can summarize what they just said? What was the point of this conversation? That's where I find myself a lot of time with Put a Ring on It. Maybe it is just me, but if it is not, let me know in the comment section below, because it's like y'all doing a whole lot of talking, but what are we talking about? Okay, so let's just jump into the notes for this episode. So of course we are still at the couple session, with Ricky saying that, you know, he really doesn't get a chance to miss Catherine. Catherine saying, you know, it's because how involved she is with his family. Catherine says she doesn't really want to hear that he needs some space. Like, that just makes her feel some kind of way. But they used to, of course, travel back and forth to see each other when she lived in Texas. Dr. Stacey tells Ricky that she is proud of him for really telling Catherine what he needs. But also Catherine is giving him pushback. And Dr. Stacey really wants her to just listen and process what Ricky is telling her. Dr. Stacey says they really need to build a schedule around his family so Catherine really has time to do things for herself, and so that Ricky has time to miss her. And that translates to me of Catherine, get up out of there. Just my opinion, okay? Catherine then says she is open to trying anything, but of course it makes her feel some kind of way that he doesn't want to be around her. Catherine, when asked, says yes to a second date with Marcus. Ricky says that, you know, he's okay with it because when she came home and told him about the date, he said that, you know, she should go ahead and go on a second date. And then Ricky also agreed to a third date with Sheila. And I was like, yes, I am here for all of this. Both of y'all continue to date other people so you can leave each other at the end of this. Okay. So, of course, we know this week everybody's going on a date at the same location at the same time with their significant other. And of course, everybody feels some kind of way about that. When we roll over back to Ricky and Catherine's house, they're really talking about how they're feeling about everything in the process. Catherine says she thinks this process would be better if they didn't go on multiple dates, but you know, she is just following Ricky's lead. And then I was like, so did you only say yes to a second date with Marcus because you knew Ricky was going to keep going out with Sheila? Like, Catherine, if you don't let this man, these little braids that he got in his head go, honey, like, Ricky must be, is he a secret millionaire? He must be dropping it like it's hot in the bedroom. I don't know what it is, but when I tell you just looking at him would dry me up and not do nothing for me, that's where it is, okay? And also, Catherine, you do hair, right? You're an entrepreneur. I'm gonna need your wigs to be a little bit more laid than they are. Okay, I'm sorry I had to say it, but it's like I keep looking at her hair in these episodes and confessionals, and I'm like, Catherine, honey, this is your time to sell and promote your business for yourself. Your hair should have been laid. You should have been having t-shirts on with your Instagram or your website on it. Girl, do we need to teach you how to promote your business on this TV show? Come on now. So Catherine date gets there. They're about to leave, and he tells Ricky, see you tomorrow, as he's walking out the door. And I was like, okay, Marcus, okay. We then head over to Jasmine and Zay. Jasmine says she feels some kind of way that Zay actually was listening to his date gala. She's like, you was able to recall, you know, how old she is, where she worked, how many kids she got, the ages of her kids. And I was just like, well, yeah, that would make me feel some kind of way too. And she was like, well, why is that? And he said, I guess she just activated my listening skills. Y'all, is Zay slow? What? I'm sorry to say, what is happening and what is wrong with him? Because she act like she's 45. He acts like he is 18. Like, I am just not even seeing why she is even interested in this man. He says he really cares to listen, and he just wants her to be herself when she asks, what is it that I can do? And I'm like, well, isn't she already being herself and that's not working for you to actually listen to her? So what are we really saying? Like, Zay, you are the king of deflection, okay? He ends up saying he is tired of talking about it. And I'm like, it's because y'all figure out zero solutions, where Jasmine is actually trying to figure out what can be done. You just want to brush it off. Well, yeah, that means you're going to just keep talking about it because you never come to a resolve. I just don't see it for the two of them. So Catherine and Marcus are at their date at the bowling alley. I actually think they look real cute together, and I want her to leave Ricky for Marcus. He's coming at her from behind, trying to, you know, be sweet near her ear and her neck, trying to show her how to bowl. And Catherine is eating all of this up because, of course, she gets none of this from Ricky. So then Ricky and Sheila show up, and child, I look at Sheila's outfit and I was like, Sheila, girl, where was you going? Y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to do better in the dress department. I just cannot. But she said she's excited to see him in a more playful space. So as Marcus and Catherine are talking, he says he is really looking for his queen. He has put in the time with his career, and now he really wants to start on, you know, a relationship with somebody. Catherine says she thinks that they are in the same space, and Marcus just can't. He's like on her arm, on her leg, on her knee, and he just said he just can't keep his hands off of her. So then, of course, now we have both of the couples at the bowling alley. Marcus starts to lay it on a little bit thick, in my opinion, you know, giving her kisses on the neck and hugging her. And Ricky is like, he just gonna be disrespecting me in the front of me. And I was like, so what, Ricky? Deal with it, okay? I know I'm biased. I know I am. It is what it is. I don't care for Ricky. But also, I was like, Marcus, pipe down just a little bit, because I couldn't tell, again, if you was doing this because you really were feeling Catherine, or you just wanted to kind of show Ricky up because you knew he was there. I don't know how to feel about that. Over with Jasha and Joya, they are going on a workout date with their dates. His date shows up. There are hugs all around for everybody. His date is like, you got workout clothes on too. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be going with y'all going. So all that touching or whatever you was doing, I'll be able to see that this time. Okay. Jasha, he's loving the attention he's getting from both of the women. Okay. Over at Zay and Jasmine's house, they're getting a little spiffy. He's getting his little suit on, and she was like, I ain't seen you in a suit since you went to a funeral. Why you trying to look all professional like you going on an interview? And he was like, you know, I just want to get a little dressed up. She says, are you hiring somebody? Like, what is really happening here? Okay. But she says when they go on the date, she will not interfere. She will let him enjoy his date, and she will do the same. Zay's date, Naya, shows up, and I said, what in the 90s is going on with this ponytail and this flipped under curl, honey? Like, whoo, child, the fashions and the hair of it all. None of it is giving. Zay tells her that she is pretty, and Jasmine says that that is disrespectful and it has pissed her off. So it set a bad taste in her mouth. And I was like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Unless we missed and they cut out some extra stuff that he may have said. I didn't see what was such a big deal with him saying that she was pretty. Like, Jasmine, cut it out. Stop being so jealous. So Zay and Naya, they go to a restaurant. We also know that Jasmine and her date will end up there too. He tells Naya about he and Jasmine's relationship. He admits that his communication is trash. Jasmine date Sean shows up. He's an engineer. He shows up at the restaurant with flowers for her. He got his ankles out. He got his little turtleneck on. I said, these Atlanta men love them a fitted turtleneck. Do you hear me? Sean says that she is beautiful and that this will be an amazing date for them. Whenever they walk in, you can definitely see Zay loses his complete train of thought. He really can't focus anymore. His date is in front of him talking, and his eyes and everything is just on Jasmine and her date. He says that her date looks like he's trying to sell insurance. I said, here we go again. Here we go again with Zay and the deflection and trying to be funny. Like, you got on the suit, this man got on the suit and his turtleneck. Like, y'all in the same boat, Zay. Like, cut it out, sir. So Zay and his date, they're talking about the drinks they're having. And she's like, we got spicy margaritas, this man said. So they put hot sauce in the drink. Y'all get this man off of my TV. Like, what is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? Jasmine on the other side, as he's looking, she just laughing. She got a little annoying laugh, but she just laughing. She just flirting. And I was like, you know what? I'll allow it. I don't mind. Again, I am biased because Zay is not where it's at for her either. Okay. So back over at the bowling alley, Ricky is completely distracted and he thinks that Catherine and her date are really putting on. And again, I think they are just a little bit, but hey, Catherine deserved to have some fun because Ricky ain't giving her no fun. he says that he and Catherine have a 10-year bond, and he's like, that's just unshakable. So, I'm just really not worried about it. And I was like, yeah, that's about, to me, all y'all have is this 10-year bond of a friendship, not husband and wife potential. I just don't see it. Ricky's date tells her, so Sheila tells him that really a woman doesn't want to have to question where she stands with you. So you really need to work on communication, and a woman really needs to know that you appreciate her. And then she's like, well, you can, all this advice I'm giving you, you can try it out on me first. I mean, and we can see how it goes. Sheila, girl, you really want Ricky? You can have Ricky, because I don't want Ricky for Catherine. So if y'all two work out, peace and blessings, okay? Catherine, then we see with her and Marcus, she spills something on her shirt. She starts to wipe it down, and then Marcus, being a little bit extra, is like, can I get it for you? So he starts wiping it with the napkin, and then he puts his mouth on her shirt. And I was like, I guess if that's where we're going. But Catherine, you are pushing the limits a little bit, because she was just kikiing and loving every bit of it. If you would have saw Ricky over there doing that, you would have been pissed, ma'am. So I know y'all said there is no boundaries, but just do what you would be okay with him doing in front of your face, or I guess behind your back, either way. And you knew that was not cool. So Catherine asks Marcus why he is single. He says he keeps his business and personal lives very separate, and now he is completely ready for the personal side of things. She tells him that she constantly has to fight for personal time with Ricky because of their living situation. Marcus asks her basically how many years you plan on dealing with that. And I was waiting for the answer for that, but we never got the answer. But she does tell Marcus how really she wants intimacy. And she says that, Marcus makes her feel like the two of them could really have something. I said, go for it. I'm rooting for you, girl. Back over to Zay and Jasmine at the restaurant. Zay's date seems to be a little bit boring. Like, the conversation ain't popping. His date is saying she's attracted to him and asking him how he feels about that. He's like, I appreciate it, because, when you're in a relationship, you just hear from the same person. So to hear from somebody else, that's different. Okay, Zay. And then he keeps talking about his relationship with Jasmine, and the date starts to feel some kind of way. And the date is referencing Jasmine as her, she. And Zay gets upset over that. He's like, that's still my woman. You're not going to disrespect her. And I was just like, but she has no connection to Jasmine. And what is wrong with her calling her she and her? She didn't call her a bitch or anything, or a hoe or something disrespectful. Like, Zay, you was doing too much. So their date was just terrible, in my opinion. And on the other hand, Jasmine and her date, they were really having great conversation and connecting. Zay date tells him that it makes her feel a little bit strange that she's saying she's attracted to him, and he keeps talking about their relationship. Again, girl, this is what you signed up for. You signed up to go out with somebody else's man, okay? Jasmine and her date, they talk about the passing of their parents. So his mom passed, and she actually passed on his birthday. I was like, geesh, that has to be tough. And then, of course, we know her dad just passed away, I believe, last year or the last couple years. So she asked him kind of what he does when he feels like he's really missing her. And he says, I just talked to her. So they're kind of relating on the bond of missing their parents and really how to cope with moving on without having them in their life. And then they make a toast. And Jasmine date says, we toasting to new adventures and new beginnings. And I was like, well, maybe y'all are. Okay. So then we move over to Jasha and his date. They show up to the gym. They're about to stretch. And here come his date, putting it on a little bit hot and heavy again. You can stretch me out. I'm just, we just going to do these stretches right here. I just don't see it for her. I mean, I think Jasha is just flattered that she is flirting with him, but I don't see it. Joya shows up. She's meeting Jacoby at the gym. She isn't sure that, how she'll be able to focus on her date with Jasha there. Jacoby, child, he show up to the gym dressed in all black like the Omen, got on the blinged out chain. I said, he is not about to be doing any piece of nobody's workout. And when he walked in there and Jasha showed him, he was like, you got to come to the gym iced out. And so he noticed it just like I did. And he's like, well, you got to separate. You got to tell the difference between, you and me or whatever. Jacoby, please, sir. Okay. So we see Brittany, y'all. I'm gonna be a little bit petty. Brittany in this confessional wig that's sitting on her. forehead. That ain't where it's at. But she says Joya and her date coming in here is messing up the flow a little bit. So Joya and her date leave to go to another area so that they can start stretching. We see that Joya is kind of flexible as he's pulling her forward, and she's kind of pretty much able to have her legs spread open and laying on her back. So Jacoby's like telling over to Jasha like, oh, I see you. I see why, you know, why you got her, or why you been here, whatever. So they start going back and forth a little bit. Jasha says that the little jabs and pettiness isn't necessary. And I'm just like, to me, while I'm not the biggest fan of Jacoby, it seemed playful enough to me. And at this point, I just want Jasha to loosen up a little bit. Like, he seems to be taking everything so seriously. Like, just crack a smile and just take it and let it flow completely off you and move on, and not acting like, oh, he's just being, you know, so petty and I'm just such the mature one. Like, okay, Jasha, we get it. But Jasha tells his date, you can still love people, but you don't have to be in their life. He said any relationship is all about compromise and really trying to build a future for them. He wants Joya to see that. And I'm sorry, from what we've seen of Joya and Jasha, where is the compromise from Jasha? Like, this woman wants to get married and this woman wants to have another child. And where are you compromising on either of those? Like, are you going to okay the child, but can we wait on the wedding? Or are you going to okay the wedding and we can maybe wait on the child? Like, give her something and not make her completely just get whatever it is that you want. Like, low-key, Jasha starting to get on my nerves, because you too old to be doing all this nonsense. Like, you 40 or over 40, however old you are. Like, what are you waiting on, sir? What time is ticking? What are you waiting on? Stop wasting this lady's time if you don't want to be with her. So then we see Jacoby and Joya. They talk about kids. Child, this is where it takes a turn to the left, okay? He says he's dated women with kids, but he's never taken it seriously because the child will always come first. So essentially, the child comes first and then him for the woman. But for him, because he doesn't have any kids, the woman would always come first. But he says, you know, I can have some fun, you know, but I don't have to settle. Like, I want to date a woman that's top tier. And basically saying that a single mother is not top tier. And I was like, sir, say what now? He says that's not what he's saying, but it is what you're saying, sir. It is what you're saying. So, of course, now Joy is a little bit upset because, of course, he is on a date with a single mom. And you are high-key taking shots at singles mother as if they cannot be taken seriously and have somebody, you know, watch their children while you hang out with your partner. Like, it ain't that hard, child. And plus, isn't Jacoby like over 30? So I'm like, any woman you are looking to date within this age range, of course, not all, because there is never a whole group of women, but most women over that age that want children already have at least one child. So good luck finding somebody like a Catherine out there that's over 30 years old that does not have any children. Like, be for real, Jacoby. Be for real to say you won't take them seriously, but y'all can have some fun. Like, how do you think Joya was supposed to take that exactly? But, you know, it's fine for him to have that opinion and feel that way about the women that he date. But also, why didn't you bring that up on the first date? Like, if you feel that strongly about single mothers and dating them, you should have brought that up on the first date, asking if she had kids and how many kids she had, because then she would have seen where you stand and she would not have had to bring your ass on this second date. Like, communicate, my guy, communicate. Anyways, time for the couples to come together again with Dr. Stacy, and this meeting should be interesting today. All the couples arrived. Everyone said they've had an interesting week. Dr. Stacy says them, of course, going on dates with each other at the same place at the same time, and she wanted them to really examine themselves and their own behavior while on the date. Catherine and Ricky start first. Catherine says her date with Marcus was nice. He gave her lots of compliments, and that's different from what she's used to from Ricky. Dr. Stacy asks if Ricky noticed Catherine on her date, and he plays it cool and is like, Nah, I mean, it was just okay. It was all right. Why are you lying? Because you were completely looking over there and completely bothered with Catherine being on her date with Marcus. Dr. Stacy asked him to really speak from the heart because everything just can't be, it's cool, it's cool. He says, I don't mean this in a mean way or nothing, but I just didn't feel a lot of emotion. I know that just might sound bad, but I just didn't feel a whole lot of emotion seeing her out with somebody else. And once again, Ricky, you are lying. You felt some kind of way. Something was stirred up in you seeing that. We saw it all over your face. Like, why you got to lie? You ain't got to lie, Craig. Come on, man. Dr. Stacy was just like, we want to hear something. And that's kind of how the episode goes off. Catherine, TLC said it best. We don't want no scrubs. And Ricky, he might be a scrub. Okay, that's all I got to say. Anyway, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Put a rank on it, drop down in the comment section below, and I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.